Hey guys, so it's that time of year again. Halloween is starting to come to a close. And I, for one, at this time of year, love to have a good Halloween scary movie marathon. So I thought I'd put together my favourite things to watch on Netflix at this time of year. Some of these things will be scary and some of them will be more on the lighter side. And I've also done the same thing for Disney Plus and Amazon, so go check out those videos if you want. So I'm going to be basing this on the American Netflix. Yes, even though I am an Australian, I'm going to be doing the American one because it's so much better, as is most things. So this isn't really going to go in any particular order or ranking. I'm just going to talk about the things that I like to watch. So firstly, there is Hill House. So I'm not going to go too much into Hill House because I've done a whole separate review on it. But honestly, I would say this is one of the best horror shows I've ever seen in my life. It is very much focused on the family and the family drama, but it also has some genuinely amazing spooky moments. And I would say it's not up there with Buffy and Supernatural, but it definitely is coming very, very close as one of my all-time favorite horror shows. So secondly, Goosebumps and Goosebumps 2. So the Goosebumps movies, they're cheesy, they're corny, they're mainly for kids, yes, but they are some good Halloween fun, and I like to watch them around this time of year because I feel like it has that Halloween movie magic that just takes you back to when you were a kid. You know what I mean? It's got that like hocus pocus vibe to it. So Sleepy Hollow, honestly, I would say that Sleepy Hollow is probably the most Tim Burton movie ever made. It has all the Tim Burton cliches and I love it. I would say it is probably one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. And I'm so excited. I just learned this morning actually that Tim Burton is actually going to be doing an Addams Family TV show. And how amazing is that? I love the Addams Family and I love Tim Burton. And for a long time I've been saying how amazing it would be if Tim Burton directed an Addams Family movie. And it looks like finally something is going right for me in 2020. My movie wishes have been granted, so he's going to be doing a TV show, which I'm so looking forward to, especially because it's going to be from the perspective of Wednesday. So that goes into my next one, the Addams Family. So I think Wednesday Addams is just such a fun character, and she's got so many good one-liners. So the next one would be Poltergeist. So this is a Spielberg classic for a reason. It is an amazing movie. I've seen it a few times now, and even though it is quite dated by now, it doesn't get old. So there's this one scene that traumatized me so much because it's got this really big clown, and when I was a kid, I have this life-sized clown doll, yes, life-sized clown doll sitting in a rocking chair in my room, and it terrorized me. Like seriously, just looking at it would give me nightmares. Thanks, Mum. Anyway, so when I watched this movie, yeah, it was pretty scary for me. So I will definitely be watching that for this Halloween's movie marathon. So next is American Horror Story. So American Horror Story, I would say the first season, Murder House, is definitely the best season. I also really enjoy Cult, and it's all about the election and coming up for the next election. It's sort of a fun thing to watch. The next is Supernatural. So Supernatural doesn't really have a lot of Halloween specific episodes, but the whole show is sort of a Halloween theme. It's got the ghosts and the drama, and it's also got a lot of humor and heart, and it's just a really great show. And it's coming to an end in a few weeks, and that's just crazy because I've literally been watching it for half my lifetime. It's been going for like 15 seasons, and I've grown up with this show. I've been watching it as a teenager and now as an adult, and yeah, it's kind of an emotional thing, you know, when something you've been watching half your lifetime comes to an end. So next, Scream. So Scream has been getting a lot of love lately, and a lot of people know that we're going to get a Scream 5 soon, which I'm really, really, really excited about. Scream is one of my all-time favorite horror franchises. It's just such a classic. The first is definitely the best, the second is the second best, and then, yeah, obviously, third is the third best. And the TV show on Netflix is actually pretty good. I highly recommend the TV show. The first 2 seasons, don't even bother with the third because it just went all political and it went downhill from there. But yeah, Scream is a franchise that I will always love. I love how it blends the comedy and the self-aware meta sort of aspect of it with also being genuinely quite creepy. It's just such a fun watch at Halloween time. So, Bates Motel. Bates Motel is a prequel TV show to the Psycho movie, starring Norman Bates and his unhealthy attachment to his mum. So his mum is played by Vera Farmiga in this, I hope I'm saying that right, who is also the star of The Conjuring, and she does such a good job in this role, and it's a very moody, dark show. It's not always an easy watch. There is very uncomfortable storylines, but it is an amazingly well done show that I highly recommend. So the next is Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. So I feel like not a lot of people actually are aware of this movie, that it actually exists, but it's actually a really good movie starring Katie Holmes, and basically she has this new stepdaughter and she moves into this big old sort of gothic house, and it's being haunted by these little not gremlin, but it's hard to describe them, but they're these evil little creatures that live under the floor. And I watched this for the first time when it came out and I was a little creeped out by it, even though I was an adult. It's not amazing. It's definitely not one of my all-time favorites, but I would highly recommend that you go give it a watch. And the last but definitely not least is Cult of Chucky. So I love Chucky. He is definitely one of my all-time favorites. I think Child's Play 2 and then Child's Play the original is definitely my favorite. And I have got a very soft spot for Bride of Chucky. Not a lot of people do. A lot of people thought Bride of Chucky was just too much going into the comedy and everything, but I really loved it. And Cult of Chucky is definitely my last. It would be my least favorite Chucky movie. It definitely doesn't rank for me very high, but it's still Chucky, so I still love it. Anything Chucky except for that horrible remake we got a year or two ago, I really enjoy. So I highly recommend you give some of these a watch and let me know if you've seen any of them, what you thought of them in the comments down below. And also, please help me out and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.